Hello, everyone. As we've seen recently, um, over the past couple days, EA has had a community day for content creators to go to Vancouver and test out, the new NHL game. And from my take, at least, is that although it seems like it's going to be a somewhat of a different game, but I don't think it's going to fix the issues that we see in past games. So everyone is obsessed with, the gameplay. Okay, gameplay needs changed. You gotta do this, do that. And from what it seems is like they have new like controls and all that, a new physics engine kind of thing, which is okay for, the start. Yeah, although the gameplay changes are, they might do something for the short term. I don't think it's going to fix the long term issues that NHL has. To start off, NHL, one of the big issues is there's not much depth in many of the game modes they have. The game modes are so bare in NHL that it doesn't keep your interest in anything, it doesn't draw new people in. And that is the big issue that year in and year out they continue to completely ignore and argue that, oh man, the gameplay needs change, the gameplay needs improved. To an extent, yes, the gameplay does need improved, but if that's your main focus, you're completely wasting your time. And next year, NHL 25, we're going to be arguing, oh, the gameplay sucks, it needs changed, it needs this, it needs that. The main reason, like I said, that NHL struggles every year is the lack of depth. Whether it's Be a Pro, whether it's franchise mode, whether it's World of Shell. I'm not a HUT player, but from the looks of it, they continue to offer the same bland, boring things every year. So, what I would hope that people start to realize more going forward is we need to focus more on the game modes that are actually in the game um, over the actual like gameplay type thing. I mean, look, Thrash. We see, to be clear, NHL 24 does feel completely different to previous games. That being said, I have no idea if people are going to love it or hate it. And like, yeah, it's nice. It's nice that it feels different, but if there's nothing there to keep your attention, is it really worth it? Like, is it really worth playing? When are those changes really worth it? And that to me is the biggest issue. Is you see, you know, you see my tweet there, but it's like to look at like Be a Pro. They don't touch Be a Pro at all. It stays the same. And anytime you talk to people that play Be a Pro, I'm not one of them, but you talk to them and they're like, "Oh, it's not in depth. Like you can't do. You're good, but you're not on the power play and all that." It's like there's certain aspects of Be a Pro that are just completely missing or not there, and it's not a fun experience. So therefore, after like a couple weeks, you don't care to play it anymore because you're already bored of it. Franchise mode. It is 2023 going into 2024. We still can't play a franchise mode with our friends or against friends. Why? That's just a small aspect of the game that they should include. That way, it keeps your attention. It possibly brings in new players, to see, hey, I could play against my friends or whatever. And even with like franchise mode, like I'm somebody who enjoys franchise mode. There's so many aspects of it that like there's a huge issue. And by like a month after, I'm just like I don't care to play anymore. Like my two biggest issues with it is one, the online franchise mode. For whatever reason, you still can't play against your friends or with friends. And then two, franchise mode. Why is it that we still can't? I mean, you could somewhat edit players, but you can't edit overalls and you can't create new like players. And to a certain extent, I wish they would add draft classes to be introduced. That way, somebody from the community could make like a draft class of whatever upcoming year, add the players that are in it to introduce into NHL. But for me, you have the ability to edit players, and yet you still can't edit their overall. My experience with that, I'm currently doing a Washington Capitals franchise. TJ Oshie, Phil Kessel, Evgeny Malkin in the AHL. But why? When is that ever going to happen? Their overall has dropped so much that they are just physically like they're overall wise they're in the AHL. Can edit it. They're for whatever reason haven't retired before they got to the AHL. But EA refuses to address something like that. Just a small issue like that. On top of that, you can't create people. You might want to add somebody to your franchise or whatever. Be like, you get bored. Okay, man, I want to add myself to this franchise or whatever. And then also, like I said, you can't play with your friends. So it's just different aspects of like a game mode that could be added to help fix the issue. But they're not doing it. And everyone that argue with, gameplay. Yeah, like I said before, gameplay does not matter if there is nothing to keep your attention in the game. World of Shell, let's move on to that. FIFA Pro Clubs, you play it. It's based on an overall system. So therefore, the more games you play, the better your player is. And on top of that, you have a level system that actually like works with that. So it's like, oh yeah, I've played like 1,000 games, therefore I'm a 90 overall. What do we see in World of Shell? World of Shell, it's you have the level system that ends up as a useless bag system at the end. Although, from what the leaks say, it's going to turn into a season pass, which I could already tell you. I've already have an idea of what the season pass is going to be. Especially with the fact that content creators were they're getting scanned, like Nasher and all that. I guarantee they do not address the World of Shell problem, which is the one that we have now, which is it gets so boring after you hit Prestige 1 because you have everything unlocked. And why I say this is, as of right now, many of you, there's people out there that grind the game, and what I don't know why you do because there's nothing to work towards. But for me, at least, the way World of Shell is set up right now, there is absolutely no reason to play after you have everything unlocked. I don't care about RP or whatever. I don't care about, I'm platinum ranked or whatever, because it ends up leading to a useless bag system that has absolutely no reason. Like, oh yeah, you open it. Here's some hit emotes that I'm never going to use, nor do I care about. So to me, that is pretty much the biggest issue with World of Shell at the moment. And that's another reason EA, like I said, NHL 24 is going to fail. It's going to be a month in, nobody's going to play it because there is no reason to play it. And by the way, personally, I think the way that they're going to do if it is true that they have a, season pass for the upcoming World of Shell moments, I believe, the reason that like Nasher and all that were getting scanned is they're going to be the rewards for like, oh man, you hit the max level on the season pass, therefore you can now play as Nasher in World of Shell. To me, that does not matter. I don't care about that. And it's just a wasted feature that they're going to add, instead of fixing the real issues, which is the fact that there is no depth at all to any game mode. And like I do get gameplay wise in the World of Shell, yes, like things like the traits need fixed and all that. But I just look at Be a Pro or FIFA Pro Clubs for a great way to set up World of Shell in NHL. And it's like they still have the traits, but they're not overpowered. They're not like all that. But you still have that, overall to work towards. They give you something to work to. NHL does not do that. So World of Shell, once again, gonna fail. It's gonna be boring after you hit Prestige 1. Their season pass thing, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, you could unlock a goal, a motor or whatever. And it's just stuff that we're not, it's taking their useless bag system and just making it into another problem, which is going to be a, season pass type thing where it's like, oh, yeah, you could unlock this, a goal emote or whatever. And to me, I think it's just going to be a useless feature that nobody's going to care about after a month or whatever. And, like for me at least, I look at it, the only time I ever actually like really hopped on World of Shell to play outside of like League Gaming games is whenever a new season starts to unlock the new trade or whatever that they add. So, I just look at it. World of Shell is going to be the same old stale, boring thing that it was every year. Be a Pro is going to be untouched again, so it's going to be the same old stale, boring game mode that it is. Franchise mode, still not going to be able to play with friends, still not going to have like the small issues that need addressed changed. And then Hut, I firmly believe, is just still going to be the same old. Like, here's the same old stupid stuff that they usually add every year and all that. I don't play Hut. I don't think it's a good game mode to have. And overall, I personally just see NHL having the same issues NHL 23 had, NHL 22 had, 21 had. And like game mode, like I said, I don't want to take away from gameplay and all that. It does need addressed in some ways, but it does not need to be a major concern. Like, it just needs fine-tuned. And from what I'm seeing in all the leaks and all that, it's just... I'm preparing myself to not play the game after a month. Like, I look at like Madden this year. They added, from what it seems like, they added like the Be a Pro back to Madden, like Superstar mode and all that from the old days. I may actually buy Madden for once this year just to play it. Because like that's something that gains my attention. It's like, ooh, man, I could go back to the good old Superstar mode days and play that. NHL doesn't do that. Outside of League Gaming, I don't think I'm going to touch the game. Like, it's just, there's nothing there to hold your attention. There's nothing there to get you to like play it and join. And that's why we see every year people leaving and, just nobody coming, like no new bodies coming into the community and all that. It's just, it's hard to play something that you thoroughly do not enjoy. And like NHL it starts to feel more like a job than like just a leisure like game to play or something. It's like you literally have to like push yourself to play the game just to you don't even enjoy it whenever you play because it's so like there's nothing to work towards, nothing to challenge yourself with. It's just bare bones and it's so boring and bland and it's just, to me, it's just not a fun experience. And I know to many people it's not a fun experience as well. And I don't see NHL 24 changing from that. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about NHL 24 down in the comments. And have a good rest of your day.